What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be, since tomorrow is the NFL draft, I'm going to be showing you my round one, predictions, mock drafts, whatever. Before we get started, sorry for the ads. I don't know really any place, better to do a mock draft. I mean, obviously PFF, but I want to do trades and I don't want to spend money. So let's get started. Alright, so we are going to begin with the Las Vegas Raiders, and this shouldn't even be a question. They're obviously going to pick Mendoza, Heisman winner. They need a quarterback, and frankly, I don't even know who else they would pick. Okay, because that team needs a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of teams do, but quarterback's the biggest need. They're gonna go Mendoza. If they don't, that would be crazy. Next, I have the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are a questionable one. People either have them picking Arvell Reese or David Bailey. And, me personally, oh my god, these freaking ads, bro. Even though, right, Reese is a linebacker. He also, we don't know if he's going to play edge or linebacker or, kind of like Jalen Walker last year, So, I'm going to have the Jets picking him. They can figure it out, even though it's the Jets, but so they probably won't. So, it won't be the best place for him. But for the Jets, they're the Jets. Frankly, it's just, a pickle that they are in, and, so, yeah. Next, I'm going to do the first trade, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be trading up to pick 3 with the Arizona Cardinals. Frankly, I don't really know what it would take, so I'm just going to do this. I think this is a, fine trade. Maybe I had that, or then no bit of that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And I have them picking David Bailey with that trade up. Trades are a iffy thing. With me personally, that's why I feel like that's probably why it's impossible, to go perfect on a 32 draft. My hope is at least 8, right? Something. But yeah, I'm gonna pick David Bailey because next, the Tennessee Titans. Oh well, let me say why. Because they need edge rusher, and I just said, they have that other guy. There's George something. I forgot his last name, but are they edge rusher away from, winning another Super Bowl? No. Right? But, they want to trade up. They can trade up. With the next pick, I got the... Wait, what was I going to do? Yeah, okay. With the next pick, I got the Tennessee Titans selecting Jeremiah Love. Now, just like for Ashton Jeanty last year, it's a team that, needs a running back, probably needs other things, other than running back. But, the Titans are known for having really good running backs, like Derrick Henry and etc. But, I feel like Jeremiah Love is a type of talent to not pass up on. Even though you don't really, even if it's not a need, but it could take off a little bit of pressure, even though they don't really have the best offensive line, it can definitely take pressure off Cam Ward. Next, I have the New York Giants selecting Sony Styles. He is a linebacker, and in my opinion, I kind of, I don't like the draft. I feel like the draft is, not really what's the word I'm thinking of, it doesn't show off all the talent of the player. Films where it's at, obviously. So I don't really judge that much. But he just had such an incredible, combine. And for a linebacker, that might not always be important. But, maybe you can make him into like a safety or something. Or, I don't know. Next, the Cleveland Browns. This is either going to be tackle or receiver. Because they definitely need a left tackle. Still, even though they have improved their offensive line. It's pretty, not bad. But I'm going to pick Carnell Tate from Ohio State. Keep him there in Ohio. And, frankly, let's just say Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback for now. He needs someone to throw to. He doesn't really have anybody. And, frankly, when the next pick that they have, I can see them, picking tackle there. Because then, I'm looking right here. You got way more tackles than just, yeah, there's a lot of receivers, but, like, we don't know. We don't know if they're always going to be there. Next, speaking about receivers, I have Jordan Tyson going to the Washington Commanders. Arizona State, they just got Rashid White. They got, Jackson, Jaden Daniels used to go there. But, in my opinion, they need a receiver. Other than Terry McLaurin, they do not have anybody. Okay? So, get Jaden Daniels, even though they need a lot more other stuff, get a receiver. Just get him, and I think, Jordan, even with Jordan Tyson's injury, teams, I don't think they really care about that. Next, I got another trade. The New Orleans Saints are going to be trading with the... Actually... Never mind. The New Orleans Saints are going to be drafting Mansour, quarterback from LSU. I don't know if he's from New Orleans. No, he's not. Okay, but keep him home. Not really home, but like of college. And they need a corner bad. You can go Ruben Bain, but in my opinion, they need edge rushers, right? They need Ruben Bain's here. They could go him, but in my opinion, I feel like it's more what I think they would pick, but they need a corner, right? So if they go Ruben Bain, and he's here, then that wouldn't be too shocking. But yeah, I'm gonna go with. Next, I have the new one. Arizona Cardinals selecting Francis. I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name. Tackle for Miami. They were probably gonna go him in the third. Why not just trade back and still get him? Next, I have the New York Giants selecting Caleb Downs. The best safety of the draft by far, best DB in the draft, even though he wasn't the first DB taken, but people value safeties less. They got two dogs at defense. Got two Ohio State players at defense with the 5th and 10th pick. They still need, they could have went still need another defensive tackle, trading Dexter Lawrence, still need that. They got the 30-something pick, so they're chilling. Still need receiver, but, it's fine. Speaking about receiver, I have the I have the Miami Dolphins trading with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's just dead even. I guess maybe we could do whatever. Trading with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're going to be selecting Ruben Bain from the University of Miami. Now, Ruben Bain is a dog. And frankly, you're trading up, getting rid of the 3rd round pick, but I feel like it's worth it. At the end of the day, Ruben Bain is, even though with his, people want to say his arm length or whatever, come on. He's a dog. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, Jamon McCoy, corner from Tennessee. Frankly, they need corner. It's not really a surprise. So why not just pick the best one, even though he might be injured or whatnot. But next I got the LA Rams, if he's here, Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon for the, for that team would just be, such a factor, such a type of thing that would just help them out. Would just help them out. It's just like, I feel like, they're gonna go offense no matter what. It could either be, tackle, or it could be receiver. And Makai Lemon, if he's there, they're probably gonna pick Makai Lemon because Devontae Adams is getting older. Puka is gonna be wanting a new contract, and simply after that, they don't really have anybody. So, next, the Baltimore Ravens are gonna be selecting. Now, Baltimore Ravens are in a little bit of a cookie, the crumble of the cookie there, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but I'm picking the guard from Penn State. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name because I know I'm gonna butcher it so bad. But he's just, they need a guard. I mean, they need a lot of things, but they need a better offensive line. They got rid of the center, which was pretty stupid. They got rid of a lot of other things, and I feel like they need God. Protect Lamar Jackson. Just protect Lamar Jackson. Next. Hold on. Wait, I want to see something real quick. I'm not doing a trade, I just want to see something. Okay. Next, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting, after trading it. Well, Amari Cooper Jr., receiver from Indiana. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Could be the best receiver on the board currently. He's just a different level. He's goated. They need receiver after getting rid of Jayden Waddle, Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins are gonna suck. Why not get more stuff? I mean, you look at the Dolphins. After that Bucks trade, they have 5 third-round picks, and a pretty early second-round pick, and another first. So I mean, all right. Next, I got the New York Jets electing Denzel Boston. Now you might be saying, Denzel Boston, blah blah blah. He's not the best, the fastest guy out there on the block. But listen, the Jets need a playmaker. They need a receiver. They have Garrett Wilson. Maybe you can say a Donnie Mitchell. But they need like a big time receiver, big body. Casey, I'm not even trying to pronounce his name. It's literally the same thing. It's short, fast, but that's not what they need. You need a big guy. Next I have, this is easy, Marlon Freeling to the Detroit Lions. They need tackle after losing Tyler Dicker, or what his last name is. It's not Dick. I don't know. I forget. But after losing left tackle, they need to go get it out. This one is pretty simply easy for me too. The Vikings select Oregon safety theme men. You know, I see some people being like, saying he's the Harrison Smith replacement. Well, that's what I say. And people are saying like, oh, he's just saying that because he's a white and he's white and he plays safety. I don't know. Maybe. But they need a safety no matter what. You know. With the 19th pick, I have the Panthers selecting Kenye Sadiq. Tight end, Oregon. I think that's how you pronounce his name if I butcher it. You know, get Bryce Young, another weapon. They could, well, seeing how they could go. I just realized, I kid you not, I remember this website, it's saying Casey, not Kevin, but whatever. Which is, you know, what they got to, but, that was, yeah, you need it, Panthers need a tight end, and, yeah, I don't know. This one's pretty easy. Well, could go two ways. But I have the Cowboys selecting Kendrick Folk. This could go, you know, the other guy, but, you know, Kendrick Folk. And then they, you know, they need him, the big time, you know, catcher, and the backer, and the flex, and like, stuff like that. Next, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Casey. You know, they could go tackle, but, you know, more fun option, you know, would not. They need another receiver. They got two big guys there. They need a fast guy to go down the field and to catch that. And that's simply what he can do. And that's simply what they need. You know, they do need, like, offensive line, but it's more of, like, I mean, they do need a guard, but, like, and a tackle, but. Dude, what was that ad? That was AI. Chargers here. They're loving the scenario. You could go edge. You could go, you know. But Spencer Fenno is here. You know, I know they need guards more than they need tackles. But to be frank, I don't know who Frank is. But to be frank, maybe you could put someone to an edge. I'm just saying. Bro, what is that? I'm just saying. I don't know. Wait, did I say edge? I meant God. The Philadelphia Eagles select Max. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that guy's name. Bro, these guys need to get easier names as freaking set. From Arizona State. And I die. They need tackle. You know, they need right tackle. Behind, you know, Lane Johnson. She's going to retire probably soon. So, this is replacement. Browns, easy. Caden Proctor. Well, Proctor. He's there. That's an easy pick for them. You know, they need defensive tackle. Akeem Mesidor is here. Okay. Why wouldn't they pick him? I mean, I don't really see, you know, really anyone else who could, you know, simply pick up. You know, that's the me though. Now, for the Bills, okay, because you got a few options here. You can go TJ Parker. You can go Cassius Howard. You can go Zion Young. But you can go Micah Lawrence. Now, me personally, there's three guys here that I like. But, I don't know what guys they like. You know? No. So, me personally, and this is just a, you know, personal opinion. Maybe they go someone like, I don't know, Zion Young. Probably the better edge out of, you know, the 4 or 5 or how many that was, 4. But, you know, even though I like Zion Young and I don't like the Bills, you know, that doesn't really matter. Caleb. I'm done. Tackle from Blumar. Tackle from Utah. San Francisco, you know they need a tackle. I low-key probably should have went Blake Miller. I'm not gonna lie with you. I was looking at this pick and I'm like, Oh wait. Nah. Because simply to put it, they need offensive line. The Texans need offensive line. Also, they need tackle. I don't know. What's his name? Will be there. Left tackle. Blanking on his name. Anyway, Texans. Even though they need offensive line, you know, I have to protect them. They've tackle. Actually, don't know if they need tackle. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm just kidding. They need guards. You know, they need center. Pretty sure, which is more important. Well, they need more. So, simply put it in that way, Peter Woods. You know, they need defensive tackle too. You know, just bulk out that defensive line. You know, just make it really good. And Peter Woods is really good, and I'm, you know, surprised that he's here. But simply, he's here. Arizona Cardinals, Ty Simpson, Jacoby Brissett. Not a starter by any means. So yeah, they gotta get it. Blake Miller to the Miami Dolphins. You know what I said. How about Malik Willis? Okay, show what he can do, because you're gonna be a bad team. You're gonna be a bad football team, but at least build around Malik Nabers for this draft to see what he is proven of. If he's not good, then you know, because you're gonna be crap no matter what. Why, you know, bolster out this defense to just kill Malik Willis, and, you know, just get rid of him instead of, maybe not being a thing, but that's probably what they can do. Instead, you know, build around him, see if he's good or not. And if he is, then you got your guy, and then all you gotta do after that is work on your defense. And if, yeah. Next, the New England Patriots. My New England Patriots. You know, there's a lot of guys who can go, yeah, you gotta go. You know, there's no tackles anymore. Okay, there's really only a couple of guys. TJ Parker, Cassius Howell, Malachi Lawrence. Me personally, I like TJ Parker. I like Cassius Howell too, but I like TJ Parker. Cassius Howell reminds me of Mike Green. Well, not like play style, but like kind of like draft. I'm pretty sure. I kind of forget. No, you know, both guys going round one and then dropping down because, you know, of stuff on length or whatnot. But, what was I gonna say? Shoot, I'm blanking. Forgot that guy was there. Loki, I'm not gonna lie with you. They could have won him. Whatever. But yeah. I think TJ Parker, you know, he was, you know, projected to go way before. I don't even know what happened. You know, he was projected to go in the first friggin' at least 10th pick. Well, not 10th pick, like around the, like, top 10th pick or whatnot. He still did good. I don't know, you know, what happened. With the last pick, I have the Seahawks. Ow, stuck. Picking AJ Terrell's brother. Cornerback, Clemson. So yeah, that's my mock draft.